Welcome. Today's topic is Witsit gets it. Let's start. First of all, I want to thank all my patrons, members, donors, and subscribers. All of you are important for me. Thank you very much. Today I will have a look at the video from Witsit Gets It called War.
Audio, video, good. Cool, bro. So the name of the stream is War. And so anyway, I will finish the stream at Rockfin, and there's a stream below, or there's a link to the stream below. So cool. Let's just talk about some of the stuff. Like I said, I'll finish the stream at Rockfin where we can talk like adults, and it's free. And so to cover that, someone was asking about the paywall. It's like, if the channel is supported and sustainable without it, almost all the content will just be free on Rockfin. It'll just be a normal thing that to finish the stream where we can say what we want to for a few minutes, it'll be on Rockfin.
So he does the same as other flat earthers, moving to Rockfin so they can spread lies, hateful speech, and so on. It's disgusting.
So everyone's freaking out about war. Everyone probably assumes they know what this stream's about, because everyone's just been hit with a new psychological operation that everyone's talking about. To be honest, Kai and I completely ignored it. Like, just completely ignored it for over a week.
Of course he didn't care about the war. He has no brain, he has no heart.
Anyway, to summarize how I feel about that, I figured I'd show you guys a picture. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Well, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? I will say, at least Putin looks like disturbed. You know, like at least he's like, this is weird. That's pretty much how I feel about that. But apparently, I think this picture is from Ukraine.
So there we have Witsit's take on the war, who to blame. And I did an image search. The first one is from Ukraine. That picture is from 2019, the 6th of May it was published. And Volodymyr was meeting representatives from different religious communities in Ukraine, and this image is from when he met Jewish rabbis from Ukraine, and he also met other religious people or groups in Ukraine, talking about how to develop dialogue with the citizens of the occupied areas in Donbass and Crimea. And the image on Putin is from 2013, and it's 14th of June it was published. And it's Vladimir Putin who was talking about a year-long discussion with the United States, using United States about religious writing that they had in Russia. And to solve that, they are displayed on Moscow Jewish Museum. And the man to the left of Putin is the chief rabbi in Russia. It's Russian rabbis. So, Witsit, you don't check any facts. You have looked to some nutcases spreading disinformation about this war. Damn idiot.
Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, though. I think this picture is from Ukraine, and maybe this is more why Ukraine's important.
Yes, that one is in Ukraine. It's Stanislav Canyon in south of Ukraine, in a part of Ukraine where the Russians are occupying for the moment. And yes, it's an important place. People living in the houses you see in that image suffers from a horrible war.
What is that? That's insane, bro. Something crazy happened over there. You know, what is this?
It's the Nirvana volcanic field in Colorado, USA.
What is that? What was that used for? Why can't we still build those?
That's Shrinkisvara temple in India, but why should we build one? It's no problem to build one, but why?
That's crazy. Oh, what is that?
It's from an expedition in Paris 1900.
What is that?
It was a bridge in Hamburg, Germany, that was over the river Elbe.
Bro, what is that? Look how dope that looks. Interesting. So I'm going to do a stream that covers that as well. This is me just telling you guys what I'm going to do in the future.
So you will download random images you find on internet and make up things about them and don't bother checking facts. Oh dear.
To make good streams. So anyway, Clones Part 2, and then I'm going to cover that, and I'm going to give my take on it. I think that a lot of people have done good work on it, and they find the anomalies in the buildings and the dates that they say they built them and the resources that they say built them with, even though physically impossible, and we still can't replicate it. And now we have little bitty thin walls of wood that don't last at all, and they have stone buildings that would last forever. And they were built with geometric patterns that are identical to cymatic patterns that you would utilize if you were trying to use some physical structure in the material world to harness any type of energy or vibration or frequency. And where I'm at now is I think the use case actually required people, because there is no electromagnetic source better than people other than nature itself and the earth itself. And the earth is nothing more than a bigger representation of how our body works. And I would say the earth is sentient. Oh, you're crazy. Okay, cool story, man. Go wear your mask. You can't kill the earth. It's very resilient. And resilience is a characteristic of sentience. The earth is basically alive. And it's just, we have the same type of build. So anyway, I told someone this a few years ago, my friend. I was like, if I was ever going to try to risk my life to actually really dive in and pursue not just how to harness electricity freely, but how to facilitate it to the people prior to it being suppressed, which is assuredly a death sentence, by the way, of course. But anyway, I said that the way that you would do it is you would harness the electromagnetic energy of people. When you're in the house, the electricity works. When you're using the device, it works. And if people just understood it, which they would naturally progress, right? It would just be a normal thing. The source of energy is what you're emitting into the etheric background that is everywhere. And I think that's what they knew.
What a lot of nonsense. Witsit can't be serious, or is he this stupid, mad, and we move on.
If you were going to harness energy, certainly interconnected, you would simply harness the energy from the center based on a certain radius and with equidistant relay around it. There are star forts built. Of course, they're not perfectly aligned with the north all the time. They're just a little bit different. Well, our north pole is wrong. That's why you're not allowed to go there. That's why there's no actual recording of a geographic location called the North Pole with a 9-degree zenith angle to Polaris. That would be the most infamous measurement ever done. We give NASA $60 million a day, and they went to the moon in the 60s, and they're going to Mars, but we can't go to the center of the surface of the Earth. We can't get a time lapse of the star trails around Polaris. That would be the most infamous picture ever. This is just like how you would have live streams 24/7 from the moon looking at the Earth. You would have live streams showing an eclipse from the outside if you were really in outer space. The reason that you don't get what you're supposed to in the center is if you look at the northern lights, they're not even in the current center. The northern lights aren't centered. The geomagnetic equator moves not centered with that. The magnetic flux and declination lines that we utilize to navigate don't align with that. What they told us the North Pole is wrong, hence why you can't commercially or privately explore it within 500 miles of each direction of the center.
And there was a lot of word salad. Only nonsense, nonsense, and nonsense. And Witsit, you're allowed to go to North Pole. Go to Greenland, take some skis and ski up there. Or rent the ice-breaking ship. It's no laws against visiting that place, but it's ice, ice, ice. It's only ice up there. Ice, a frozen sea, that's all.
Now everyone's talking about Russia and America, so if you understand what I just talked about, it's very important to understand the context of what's going on with all that. It should be something disregarded. Russia and America both have declassified from their governments that they work together pretending that they're not working together to make sure their populations are compliant. 40-year Cold War, it's declassified though. It's not like we have to argue about it. It's declassified. They worked together. So why would we believe all of a sudden they're not working together?
And once again he makes things up. No, they didn't work together during the Cold War. That's a lie.
Anyway, speaking of Russia and the United States, if you think you live on a globe that defies physics, this is this map that's completely disproportionate and doesn't work at all right here. And this shows you Russia and the United States, and everyone's sending this around all scared. Just to remind you, Russia's super scared, super close, be scared. Do you guys see this little line right here? This is the time zone line. This is based on the sun, of course. That's how we get quote unquote time.
Witsit must have been homeschooled in the basement by a goldfish. That's the date line.
You know, conceptual quantification of passing that men have come up with based on the sky. You see why it's so crooked? You see how the line's so crooked? Because this is fake and wrong. So yeah, it's just like how you can have an island 20 miles away from each other in a 3-hour different time set or sunset time. How's that work on a globe? How's that Matt? If there's an island, and there's one 20 miles away, and the sunset time is 3-hour difference. How does that work? They lied about the maps, bro. It's pretty obvious. We have crooked lines all over them.
How can a human being be so stupid? This is set by humans and nations. It can be practical if a small country is in the same time zone. At the same with dates, countries close to the date line choose which part they will belong to. Oh dear.
Anyway, there's the center. Okay, Russia and the United States have to work together, as do Canada, to patrol the center. No, they don't work together. They're just all in the biggest, longest lasting peace treaty in human history, signed in 1959, that now has almost 60 countries, including China, in agreement with it. China, Russia, the United States, Japan, every major world superpower in the world have all signed this treaty, but they're enemies.
There are no treaty regarding the North Pole. It's a pity. So the protection is not so good about that sensible part of the world, an important part of the world.
But this fool mix up the Antarctic Treaty with the Arctic. It's two different places on the globe, you fool.
The reason it's important is not one person that found out about the Earth that went and physically measured the surface or made long distance observations or shot lasers dozens of miles over lakes frozen with no curvature obstructing it at all, see mountains 300 miles away. Anyone that's actually done that, anyone that actually takes time lapse of the star trails, that's actually just went and looked at the Earth and found out that we weren't told the truth about it. They are not freaking out about Russia and Ukraine. No one is. Like, we're the people that notice, why did CNN just post a picture saying first casualty from Ukraine, and the same exact dude was posted as supposedly dying in another event 10 years ago? The same exact selfie. Did the dude time travel? Why are they showing us people in Ukraine with fake guns? If it's like a movie and all of a sudden the Ukrainian president is Tom Cruise in the movie, maybe you should be skeptical. It's crazy that CNN and Fox News disagree on the color of the sky, but they all agree we should go to war.
This is really disgusting what he's saying. This morning I helped on a place where they take care of Ukrainian refugees. I had a long talk to a woman who fled Ukraine with her 2 small children, and she left her husband in Kiev fighting against the Russian invaders. And it's coming a lot of refugees to different European countries. This is for real. And the last weeks I have been working out at sea, and it's very tensed out there. So Witsit, it's easy to you sitting by a lake in US far away from the war. But we who lives close to it, we know it's real. And you're proven that you and your friends in the flat earth cult are reality deniers. And one thing you are missing in all of this, when you're calling it they have fake weapons and so on, without your understanding it, you are a part of Putin's disinformation campaign. You are a part of this war, spreading disinformation and lies. In my latest live stream I was talking about this, that conspiracy theorists and those kind of people, flat earthers, anti-vaxxers and so on, are spreading disinformation about the war, and they don't know that they are used to spread lies, to spread one side of this war. They are doing Putin's work, and they don't understand it. All because they think they are evil, they are in control. Oh dear, this makes me so mad. As you all know, this war takes a lot of time from me, so I have not so much time for the channel. I work in the military, and now when I'm home, I'm working with refugees. If you want to help me help Ukraine, donate via PayPal, become a member, or watch my videos so I get ad revenue. I double the sums and send it directly to Ukraine. Okay, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.